car. We live. I ain't gonna check. There we good.
Yeah, come on. Hey, Shalom.
Wow.
First, we'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh.
Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Hashem, Rakak, Wadash.
Double honors to our venerable apostles and elders at Great Millstone. And peace and blessings to the house of David, which are the elect. All right, so today I'm here with the brother Itazawam, all right, Maharan. All right, today we want to get into a little bit more of prophecy, man. All right, you know, as you can see, you know, if you're paying attention, you see what's going on around the world right now. We have tensions rising. Okay, we have this whole coronavirus that's being going viral. Okay, and then also you have Trump going around talking about this whole the doomsday clock going on and all that stuff.
Prophecy.
The prophets of doom. All right, and hey, we're looked at as the prophets of doom, man. Okay, so you know you gotta understand that these elites, man, they have these code languages and these code words that they use, which isn't for the whole world to know, but also for us. It's kind of the way we communicate with each other. Okay, so you know, I'll pass it on to the brother to bring up whatever he has to say, and then we go.
Hey, and just to get into the word, because you know, like you said, the doomsday clock just got moved up to 100 seconds, and also how the brother just said, Trump talking about the prophets of doom. And when you get into the word of doom, I'm just gonna pull this up real quick. The word doom actually just means, as you see, can you see that on my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, so this is from the Edamon online. It says doom. All right, it says doom from Old English dome, a law, statute, or decree. Administration of justice, judgment, justice, equity, or righteousness. So, and that's exactly what we're talking about, man. We're talking about the day of judgment, all right? The day of justice being declared, all right? The laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai actually, you know, started off with this scripture, you know, that I just pulled up. Because, you know, we are the prophets of, through the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, we are the prophets of doom. And we are speaking about justice. We're speaking about judgment. We're speaking about the laws of the Lord, okay? And nobody else is doing that. So, you know, when they say these code, you know, when they use these words, man, that's their way of basically calling us out in a sense without actually saying it. You know, this war that we're having is, and as Paul said, it's with you know, we're fighting spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, we're the Lord willing, we are those men, but the men of the Lord are the elite on the right hand side. All right, and these elites of this world, they're the elite on the left hand side. So like that's who the war is really between, you know, and everybody else is just, you know, lower level zombies that are not that have no clue what's going on, man. Which is why the scripture says if they don't believe, basically if they don't believe the gospel, is basically to them that are lost. This is Psalms 119 verse 126. It says, "It is time for thee to work. It is time for thee, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to work, for they have made void thy law." So these people in this world, you know, starting with you know, 2/3 of Israel, these wicked Edomites, okay, this whole world makes void the laws of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So when we come out and prophesied, as I get that also, prophesied against many countries and great kingdoms, we're prophesying judgment, aka we're prophesying doom. You know, because the law of the Lord is made void in this place. Jeremiah 28 verse 8, it says, "The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence." You know, and hey, and we in a time of, you know, this 2000 and so-called 20 started off with war talk, you know, the shit that's been going on with Iran and America. Okay, so that's been going on. Then you got the whole thing, with this coronavirus. So that's pestilence right there. And evil just means bad time. So all these things are happening in the so-called what they like to, you know, say that we're called the prophets of doom. But once again, doom just means a judgment. All right, that's what we have been sent forth to prophesy against Babylon the Great, against Edom, okay, and against his empire, man. And that's what's going to continue to keep happening, because that's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. No matter if you want to try to, as Trump said, which we won't play that, he's speaking proudly. He's speaking, as an Edomite, thinking that he's going to try to stay the Lord's hand or stop the movement of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But you can't stop it, man. The only thing you can do is just further the will of the Lord.
That's right. That's right. Hey, and right before we get that, there's on the comment, there's somebody who just said, no God is coming back to save you. And that's all going into the pride of this place, man, because it all goes into ignorant as well.
Hey, look at his name, Baron Queen. So Baron, you produce no fruit, man. So get out of here.
And even if you look into the word queen, if you knew what it meant, you wouldn't even be using it. You probably would use it because that's what you guys are into. But the brother could bring out, you could play the clip from Trump, and I'll get this quick precept to back up what he was saying, just to get into that as well. Okay, because he was again, he's letting his other so-called world leaders, says World Economic Forum, okay, go into what understanding what it says, what Trump at Davos, we must reject prophets of doom. Okay, why is he saying that? But we're going to hear what he's going to say, and then we're going to get a quick precept for that.
Okay.
When I spoke at this forum 2 years ago, I told you that we had launched the Great American Comeback. Today, I'm proud to declare that the United States is in the midst of an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen before. Today, I'm pleased to announce the United States will join 1 Trillion Trees Initiative, being launched here at the World Economic Forum. 1 trillion trees. And in doing so, we will continue to show strong leadership in restoring, growing, and better managing our trees and our forests. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen.
Right. So right there, what did he say? He said, I have them, you have them. And the brother was making a note earlier. He said, what? That goes to show that he understands that there are prophets in his land and also in the lands of all these other so-called elites, man. Okay, how do we know that? You got brothers pushing this word throughout all 4 corners of the earth, man. Okay, and the Lord prophesied that. He told us that that was going to happen, man. Okay, we go to Jeremiah 1:4. It says, then the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Okay, so we're prophets unto the nations, and these nations recognize that. Okay, but one thing that Trump also said was what? That we're going if you could play that back real quick, Bokasha.
I just want to get one precept just to back that up too. Matthew chapter 28, I believe. Matthew chapter 28, verse start at 18. And Yahweh came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and earth. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and in the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you. And lo, I am with you always, even unto the end of the world. So right there, the Lord ordained the disciples, okay, which became apostles, all right, and those men that the Lord gave that spirit of prophecy unto to go preach into all nations. So that's why Trump said that the prophets of doom, quote unquote, so to speak, are in every nation of people, because that's ultimately the will of the Lord, man, and because of the elect are throughout the 4 corners of the earth. And there's also, the Lord said this, and I'll get this and I'll give it right back. Matthew 24, verse 14, it says, and the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So that's, once again, that's all these things that are happening. That's all prophecy of the end of this age, man. because this word, this gospel, the good news for Israel has to be first preached into all of the nations, because the Israelites were scattered throughout all of the nations. It is, and also to be a witness unto these heathens also. So these heathens in these other nations, they're also going to hear this word and hear the judgment, all right, or the doom of this age, man. The judgment that the Lord has set up for the end of Esau's age, which ultimately, we're going to get into that too, goes into the doomsday clock, okay, which goes into basically the destruction of this world, all right? And not this world as in the entire earth, but the destruction of this age, this eon. So let me go back to what Trump said. I'll run it back.
And also that's beautiful too, because it's an indication and an evidence to what we're saying as being true, that we are the men of the Lord. Because while he come out and talk about prophets of doom, we're the only ones who go around as known as prophets of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And doom, if anyone who even though we brought out the word, what it means from the beginning of the video, people hear the word doom, it sounds like destruction, it sounds like pain, it sounds like suffering, it sounds like a complete utter desolation. Okay, and every time we go out there, we're always talking about how the Lord is going to destroy this place. Okay, when we say this place, like the elder just said, we talk about America getting destroyed, this time, this period, this age. Okay, everything about this place is getting destroyed, man. And who are those who go out there in the highways and byways talking about this week in, week out? The prophets of the Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, these churches for years, they don't talk about these things. Okay, so it takes the spirit of the Lord to go around throughout all four corners of the earth, throughout the ends of the world, okay, to go out there and preach the same thing day in, day out, week in, week out, bringing down this place, man, every single day, man. Okay.
And once, like you said, go back into the word doom, because only the ones who are prophesying or prophets goes into what? To say before.
Right.
Know? So we're the ones that's saying before, all right, and nobody else is speaking about this. We're the only ones that are actually prophesying something. And what we're prophesying is what? Judgment, okay, and justice, okay, because this world is injustice, all right. The injusticeness that has gone on to the Israelites by Esau, all right, that's going to be taken into account for. That's going to be rectified, so to speak, all right. And it goes also into the word. I'm just going back here. Hold on. It goes also back into the word of righteousness. So prophets of righteousness. Nobody else is prophesying righteousness. This world, Esau's age, is promoting wickedness. Is promoting, things that are against the law of and statutes of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So when we come out here and prophesy the law of the Lord, nobody else is doing that. When we prophesy the statutes that this is what is going to be governing the earth once this age is destroyed, nobody else is doing that. Nobody's talking about a different time period, a different way of living, a different way of order being established on the earth. So these, like I said, even if Trump doesn't know what he's saying, because of course he's a puppet, he might, he could just be reading something that these elites are trying to basically convey unto us. These elites they know that the way that they're ruling is not righteous. All right, they know that the way that they're ruling is not according to the law of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So they're saying that they're not going to let the prophets of doom basically stop them, to let the prophets of righteousness stop them, because in their mind they're wicked. So all they could do is practice evil, as it tells you in Micah chapter 2 verse 1. It's in the power of their hand to do iniquity. So if we're coming out speaking righteousness and they're in a mindset to do iniquity or wickedness, then they're seeing us as a threat, so to speak. Yeah, go back to this now.
Doom and but to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom.
Go back a little bit more.
And in doing so, we will continue to show strong leadership in restoring, growing, and better managing our trees and our forests. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom.
I think it's a little bit back where he talks about basically the economic boom, like he was talking about.
The United States is in. Years ago, I told you that we had launched the Great American Comeback.
Oh, hey.
Real quick.
Salaki. Let me get this real quick and I'll pass it off. We're talking about the Make America Great Again, all right? And which you always go into, When was America great? All right, when they call it the Roaring 20s. All right, when well, during the 20s was what, the Jim Crow law, man.
Yep.
And that was a hellish time for Jake. The Jim Crow laws. You had 100 years of lynching. All right, there's a book on that. A brother in our camp has that book, 100 years of lynching. No more. Jake got lynched between that 100 years of so-called Jim Crow laws, more than they got lynched for slavery, man. So that whole time of that Jim Crow laws, which America's quote unquote great for these Edomites, Jake was catching hell. All right, even going before that, the time of slavery. So these devils, they basically want to put us into chattel slavery again. And that's what they considered America being great, because Esau knows that Esau can't be great unless Israel is in hardcore captivity, man. Unless Israel is basically down, because it's like a seesaw effect. The kingdom of Israel is going to be hell for Esau, all right, and the kingdom of Esau is what, hell for Jake. So there's no us both. Jacob and Esau living together side by side. That's not how it was set up. It just tells you that good was set against evil, righteousness against wickedness. So like, let me just pull this out real quick. What is that? Micah chapter not Micah, Malachi.
You just gonna take my precept?
That's what you got. Go ahead.
I was basically gonna bring out Malachi 1:4. Is that what you got?
Get it. Spirit, brother, spirit.
Basically, this is a book of Malachi, chapter 1:4. It says, "Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places." So that's what Trump is just saying. Okay, he said, "Well, if you could just play that back real quick, so we could get him saying himself."
God.
Had launched the Great American Comeback.
Right. So the Great American Comeback. The Great American Comeback in America is looked at as what, the top of Esau's kingdom. Okay, he's the king of Babylon. So he's out here basically saying what? Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished. Okay, like the brother was saying earlier, we're impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And how is he going to start it off? They talk about planting trillion trees and all these different funny quotes that he got going on. Okay, thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build. Okay, but I will throw it down. Okay, so everything so that's why they say, well, the prophets of doom, because they're talking about their prosperity. They're pushing the idea of prosperity, building what, trillion trees. When you building a tree, when you planting a tree, so like a building tree, when you planting trees, what do you expect? It takes years for the trees to grow. Okay, so they're in their mind, they're building these trees as I keep saying building trees. They're planting these trees as a representative of starting their new foundation of prosperity. Because by the time those trees grow, that's what they've reached the top of their or the pinnacle of their success of a kingdom. Okay, so it says what? And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. Okay, now the word indignation means what? Righteous anger. Okay, and the Lord has righteous anger against Esau forever, man. Okay, it says what? I'll go back to this again. It says, they shall build, but I will throw it down. Okay, and that's the key point there, man, because again, they have this idea, World Economic Forum, okay, having all these different ideas of having some type of world coming together to build something to propel this society, okay, to propel this kingdom, but the Lord has different plans. Okay, and I believe you have a precept that goes that I think you mentioned earlier about how the Lord said he's gonna burn it like a he gonna burn this place like a, what was it?
Make Esau should be stubble.
Stubble, exactly. Is that Amos 9?
Obadiah 1.
Obadiah 1. Obadiah 1.
We can get that, but I got something else just to back that up about the fucking what you was going into Esau saying that he shall build, because like he said, he building these trees, and trees take a while to basically be to reach its maturity. Trees could be around for thousands of years. So you plant a tree, and you're saying that you're planting this tree because you're seeing your empire is going to last this long, and that's the mind of Esau, man. Psalm chapter 49, verse 11, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. All right, America. All right, Colombia. They call these lands that they have conquered, they have colonized after their own name, and their inward thought is that they're their house is going to dwell forever. Ever. So he's thinking that they're going to build these 1 trillion trees. Well, guess what? The Lord going to burn those trees up, just like how he going to burn you up. You know, it says, nevertheless, man being honor abideth not. He is like the beast that perishes. This their way is their folly. Yet their posterity approve their saying. Salah. Yeah. So these people, you know, his way is folly, but yet he's in this meeting, this World Economic Forum, and everybody's approving, you know, basically their sayings. All right, these Edomites in this that look at Trump as being their savior. Okay, they approve, you know, this "Make America Great Again." They're buying into that notion, which really that's folly, because the Lord is not going to make America great, man. He's going to make America the late, you know, like when somebody's dead, you call them, oh, the late, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's what America's going to be, man. America's going to be out of here. It's going to be an afterthought. It says, not actually, that was it on that.
And it's beautiful too. Like, it just came to me when you read, it says, Trump at Davos, we must reject prophets of doom. When you read it fast, Trump, it sounds like Trump at Devils, we must reject. You know, go back to the inward thought, man. You know, the devils, they're saying, yo, we must reject the prophets of doom. Okay. But like you said earlier, we're going to get this real quick. Obadiah chapter 18, it says, verse 18, Salakia. It says, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. Okay, so anything that's stubble, even when you have to be able to create charcoal, okay, how do you create charcoal? You get the trees, okay, you chop them up, all right, you cut them, you take them, you put them in, you dig the ground. What they normally do is you dig the ground, and then you put them in the ground, and you set it on fire, and then you cover it with the sand. And then over time, it's going to burn underneath the ground, and then it becomes charcoal, man. It becomes stubble. Okay, so that's the same thing that's going to be happening here. When the missiles hit, this place is going to be made a complete desert, man. And it's going to keep burning on and on and on. And that's how you're going to have a complete charcoal, man, looking like a charcoal over here, man. That's what's coming over here.
Hey, the elder right there, Gabar, Shalom, Mat. How about
Shalom,
the brother Bakar.
Shalom.
Hey, shalom to everybody on the comment board too, man.
None. It says the brother GMS Eladriel, he says even here in Germany, the government don't want to have anything to do with Babylon. It says and what they're doing right now. Hey, that's the countries are detaching themselves from the whore, man.
Yeah.
They're attaching themselves from the whore because, again, they understand that, yo, at this point, you can't really go up against the Most High, but it's too late. It's too late because they were all part of it before. They're still part of those conferences. They're still part of Esau's regime to take down Jake. Okay, they're all, when Trump talks about we must reject the prophets of doom, Germany's part of that. Okay, so all these different countries, even including NATO, they're all part of these things. Everything that they're trying to do, including coming up with the chip, having this new world order, everything like that is against the Lord's will. Okay, and the prophets are for the Most High's will. So if you're coming up against the prophets, you're basically coming up against the Most High, and that's not going to end well for you. All right.
Hey, yo, yeah, and it's like once again, these devils know, man, that we're gonna play it because there's so much like stuff in this that, and how Bakar said, even George W. Bush, he said the same thing about the prophets of doom. You know, during one of his speeches, I think that was he did that speech. I remember he did that speech at the memorial opening of the memorial of 9/11. Right? And the Pope was there too. And they had that shit like in some type of, because like if you go to that spot, it's supposed to be like a church or a synagogue that they built like underground type shit. The shit looked mad satanic. But he was there and he said that we will fight against the prophets of doom. And once again, when you go into the word of doom, it means judgment, man. You know, it means judgment. And that doomsday clock, when you break it down, that judgment day clock, because we're coming into the time of the judgment of this world. Hey, Yahweh Shah said it. Let me get that real quick and then we go back. Yahweh Shah said this, the book of John. The fuck is that?
Yeah, you hear that?
Yeah, man, it's fucking Satan, man. I don't know what the fuck that is. It's lucky if anybody can hear that shit, man. It's the book of St. John, chapter. Where is it? Me. Damn. Where is this at? I thought it was in St. John 12th chapter, but it might not be there.
Well, which one is it?
Where he said that that he has to basically he says that he's going to come and judge. Oh man, it just slipped my mind. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this on here. Got to use the Google. I was trying to do it old school. I'm getting old. Can't remember scriptures no more. Where it says, so bear with me 1 second. Judgment.
Hey, and while you get that, I want to bring out one more, especially going into judgment. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 13, verse 9. It says, "Behold, the day of the Lord Yahweh cometh cruel, both with wrath and fierce anger." Okay, now you got to really put in context, like when the Lord talks about, again, going into history, you've always understood, even these other nations have understood the power that the Lord has always had, man. Okay, and the hate that he's always had against these people, especially when you mess with his children, which are the nation of Israel. Okay, now you've had men coming out here day in, day out, week in, week out, passionately pushing this word, reading out the scriptures in the Bible of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, and now you're going to persecute them. Now you're going to talk about we have to stop the prophets of doom. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen? You're pushing a vibration against the Heavenly Father and His Word. What do you think is going to happen, man? Okay, so let's get this. It says to lay the land desolate, okay, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Now, the biggest sinner is Esau because he breaks every single law the Lord has ever created, okay, and he teaches men to do so. Now, what do how should I say? What do how should I talk about that? Okay, now that was pertaining to the Israelites, but Edomites are the ones who are pushing that vibration on the earth, man. Okay, and I believe this morning on BBC News they were talking about how the people in Iraq are protesting to get the United States troops out of their country, man. Okay, so it's kind of like you are a visitor. You go to somebody's house and you overstay your welcome. Now you you run up the bill. You got them in so much trouble, and then the person's telling you, "Yo, I need you to leave my house." Are you still there? So now they out here like telling you, "Yo, you got to come get this nigga up out of here, man." You see, you start to devil to the point where people don't even want you in their country no more, man. You know what I'm saying? And now the world is knowing who you are because of what? Because of the men of the Lord, the prophets of doom. Okay. You got it?
I got it, So, St. John chapter 16, I'm going to start at verse 7. It says, "Nevertheless, I tell you the truth. It is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you." And the Comforter is what? That Holy Spirit, man, which comforts us, which is that Spirit that comes upon us so that we can understand these scriptures in this truth. In this, we get our comfort from. While this whole world is worried about the coronavirus and the epidemic of death. All right, they're worried about World War III. You have people they was all shook about that in the beginning of this year. Once again, we're still in the first month of this year. And there's been so much shit that's been going on, so many prophecies, so many calamities that has happened, and people are not comforted because they don't have any aid, anywhere to go, anywhere to turn. So all they see in their mind, since they wanted to be wise in their conceits throughout this whole time, now they're trying to find ways to comfort themselves about the shit that's going on, but they can't find any comfort. So we have the comfort because we know what's going on. We know what is happening, what has happened, and what will happen. Which is why through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, which is why we're called the prophets. So it says, verse 8, "And when he is come, he will reprove the world of sin, of righteousness, and of judgment." Right? So it says of sin because they believe not on me. All right. Of righteousness because I go to my Father and ye see me no more. Of judgment, of doom, because the prince of this world is judged, is doomed. So the prince of this world is judged, man, is doomed, which is why Esau, all right, Trump at Davos, said what? We must reject the prophets of doom. Because Esau knows that the judgment is coming. The prince of this world is judged. You've been judged, man. When Yahweh Shai did what he did, that's when you got judged. All right, that's when the beginning of the end of your world has started, man. And now we're at the end of your world, and you can't do nothing about it. The prince of this world is who? Is Esau Edom, who cometh after the workings of Satan. So Satan's not going to rule forever, man. Satan's age, all right, wasn't to be the ruler of this world forever, man. This world belongs to Yahweh Shai. This earth belongs to Yahweh Shai. So until Yahweh Shai returns, Satan is going to just keep getting basically he's going to keep being prophesied against, man, and his children, which is what these red pale-faced devils, okay, which I remember the elder Makama said this. He loves when an Edomite wears white, because you can see that his face is not white. It's not white. See, as you see right here with Trump. So let me get that. My bad. Add this. You see with Trump. He has a white shirt on, and his face is nowhere near the color, but it's closer to the color of his tie.
Yeah.
Because and that lets you know that these devils are not white, man. They're nowhere near the color white. That's why he says what? He came out red, like he came out hairy.
Like a hairy garment.
Yeah, red all over like a hairy garment. You see? Because that's their true color, man. All right. So once again, I'll read verse 11 again. It says, of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. So the prince of this world is judged, aka doomed, man. That's why you got the doomsday clock is getting closer to midnight, which when that shit, when it hits midnight, that means, nuclear catastrophe or apocalypse is imminent.
It's imminent, God. And what do we use clock? A clock is for what? It's to tell the time. Okay, a clock is to tell the time, and the scriptures tell you that there's a time for everything, man. Okay.
Hold that real quick. Let's finish this up. We'll get that when we get the other video.
Proud to declare that the United States is in the midst of an economic boom.
Now that's a lie, because when you look at all these so-called CEOs and analysts, the keepers of the doors, so to speak, with Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter, the keepers of the doors are trembling, man. These people are talking about a recession. You just had the IMF boss. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up. See, these devils, that's what they do. They fucking sit here and tell lies, right? Because he's the father of it, as the scripture tells you in St. John, the 8th chapter. When he tells a lie, he's speaking of himself because he's the father of it. Now, this came out 7 days ago, a week ago in The Guardian. I'm not going to read it. I did a video on it. Brother, check it out. It's on my page. It says, I saw this shit popping up, man. It says IMF boss. IMF stands for International Monetary Fund. Boss. All right. So the CEO, this woman right here, says global economy risks return of Great Depression. Okay. You got a whole bunch of, last year you had tens of thousands of stores closing up, man. All right. And then they said this year you're going to have even more stores closing up. I just seen an article that came out today that said that 40 Bed Bath & Beyond stores are set to close in the first half of this year. Every week there's another store declaring bankruptcy or closing down, man. Okay. You had I believe that there was a report that said that last year's fourth quarter sales didn't meet expectations. So what the hell is Trump talking about? We're in the midst of an economic boom, the likes that this world have never seen. But that's Esau being prideful, and his pride is deceiving himself, man.
It is in the midst of an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen before. Today, I'm pleased to announce the United States will join 1 Trillion Trees Initiative, being launched here at the World Economic Forum. 1 trillion trees. And in doing so, we will continue to show strong leadership in restoring, growing, and better managing our trees and our forests. But to embrace the possibilities of tomorrow, we must reject the perennial prophets of doom and their predictions of the apocalypse.
Boom. and their predictions of the apocalypse.
God.
Now, who else is talking about the apocalypse, man? Who else is talking about? Let's go into the word apocalypse. See what that says on here. Apocalypse.
Yep.
Revelation. All right. Are we not in the time of the book of Revelation? You see, because we're talking about what the beast hating the whore. We're talking about Yahweh Shai coming. Was that Revelation 12 chapter, the 7th verse, speaking about the war in heaven. All right, and this devil, he created what? The space force. All right, the mark of the beast. That's in the book of the apocalypse, aka the book of Revelation. Because even in the Spanish, when you look in the Spanish Bible, the word for a revelation is apocalypto, or apocalypsis, or something to that effect. So we're living in a time of the book of Revelation. All right, keep going. It says Revelation disclosure. Yeah, and that's what we're waiting for. Man, we're waiting for the disclosure or the uncovering of this age. The wicked being revealed, which is being evident, man. The righteous of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai being manifested. Okay, the sons of God being manifested, which is the elect. It says uncover, disclose, reveal. Okay, it says I'm gonna go right here. It says the Christian end of the world story is part of the revelation in John of Patmos, the book of Apocalypse. Okay, so when you're talking about what he said, that predictions of the apocalypse, well, guess what? That's the will of the Lord, man. That's what's going to happen because that's written, and the Lord said that what His word does not go out void.
Hey, and if I may add on to that real quick, as we just talked about the book of Revelation, when you go into the book of Revelation, just what we just read about the definition of the word apocalypse, it tells you right here, the book of Revelation 21, the first verse, it says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away. Okay, when when we say, oh, somebody passed away, what does it mean? He's dead. So this age, this earth, this heaven and earth that we have now is gonna pass away. That means it's gonna die. Meaning this age, this system, this kingdom is gonna pass away, and there was no more sea. Okay, now we're gonna jump down to verse 8. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars. Now these are all different words that sum up the spirit of Esau, Edom, man. Okay, it says what shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And that's talking about the nuclear missiles, man. Okay, so Esau knows that, and Trump knows that. Okay, prophets of doom, everything we just read about what being burned up with fire and brimstone, that doesn't sound like doom to you. That sounds like destruction. That sounds like doom. And that sounds like an end of his kingdom, man, and he don't want that. Okay.
The apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and
yo, man, he's saying so much shit. He said they're the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers. Now he's using play on words right there because a fortune teller is basically supposed to be somebody that can tell your future. All right. Now, what were the prophets? They were called what? I should say, what were the men of the Lord back in the day called? They were called prophets or seers.
Seers.
So it tells you that Yahweh Shai said what? That let me get this. And he said, we're the heirs. The spirit of a prophet is subject unto a prophet. So he said they're the heirs of yesterday's fortune tellers. What is this? Luke. This is the book of Luke, I believe. Let me get that. Book of Luke, chapter 6. The book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 23. It says, rejoice ye. I'm going to start at 22. It says, blessed are ye when men shall hate you, and when they shall separate you from their company, and shall reproach you, and cast out your name as evil for the Son of Man's sake. And who did that happen to? That happens to who? The prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right, we're the only ones that are being cast out as evil. We're the only ones that people are separating themselves from. That's not happening to so-called these Christian pastors and everything like that. That's not happening to these people of this world. but it's only happening to the men of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua because it was written that we're not of this world. So this world is not gonna accept us, man. You know, it says what this world shall hate you. Okay, it says going on. It says verse 23: Rejoice ye in that day and leap for joy, for behold, your reward is for behold, your reward is great in heaven. For in the like manner did their fathers unto the prophets. So we're the heirs of what? As he tried to say, these fortune tellers, but basically we're the heirs of the prophets of old, man. Because as we read in Jeremiah 28:8, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. So we're coming in that same stead. We're in that same shoe, so to speak.
Of the apocalypse. They are the heirs of yesterday's foolish fortune tellers, and I have them, and you have them, and we all have them. And they want to see us do badly, but we don't let that happen. They
So yeah, man. Actually,
predicted an overpopulation crisis in the 1960s, mass starvation in the 70s, and an end of oil in the 1990s.
Sounds like a whole bunch of evil to me. For Esau's kingdom. You got something?
Yeah, I was gonna bring out, you know, because even the brother put in the chat, that's a spirit, because that's a precept that I had lined up. Isaiah chapter 47, I'm gonna start off at 1. It says, Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Okay, and that sounds like doom. These are all things that we as men of the Lord keep bringing out. Okay, and the time is running, the time is ticking for Esau. And there's a reason why in Revelation, the 12th chapter, okay, the Lord talks about what? Esau is the devil is growing fast because he knows that he had a short time, right? So they know that the clock is ticking, man. And that doomsday clock, really, it was created, I believe, in 1947, okay, and is an indication that the time it strikes midnight, like you said earlier, that nuclear destruction or whatever destruction is imminent. Okay, and over the years, it's been going off and on closer, about 7 minutes, and then go back to 17 minutes, then 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But now it's at 100 seconds, man. Okay, 100 seconds is a minute and what? And 40, a minute and 40, a minute and 40 seconds. Okay, which if you look it through the spirit, 144, man. Okay, so we're looking at everything through the spirit, man. That time is coming. Esau is looking at everything spiritually too. And he got his priests and wicked priestesses on the side who give him the ins and outs and stuff like that.
Hey, how would he know that he has a short time?
Exactly.
He has his left-handed priests, his left-handed spiritual wickedness in high places. Satan over there telling them, look, man, you got to speed up these things because the time is running short. You know, Esau, the scriptures tells you that he knows he have but a short time. He's not saying he guess he has or he thinks he might have. Esau knows he has but a short time, but the pride of his heart is deceiving him. So he basically thinks that he can upset the prophecies of the Lord. He thinks that he can, you know, be circumvent or go around what the Lord said is going to happen. But and that's why he's trying to push out all these different, you know, things. That's why he's ultimately going to try to push out. Well, he's ultimately going to push out this mark of the beast and be the way, the new way of buying and selling. But first, what has to happen? This current age has to collapse. You know, but when this current age collapse, it ain't gonna be another empire of Esau. It ain't gonna be another rulership. The Lord said, "What? Esau is the end of this age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth." It isn't that Esau is the end, and then Esau going to have another age after that. So you moving towards all you Edomites are doing, and you elites, you're trying to go or change the prophecies of the Lord by pushing your agenda. All that is the prophet. You're just pushing the prophecies of the Lord. You know, you're not doing anything different other than what the Lord said that's going to happen.
And you're playing right into prophecy, and that's how we know how this is going to play out. Because the harder you try to fight against prophecy, the faster you run into prophecy.
It's like quicksand.
Quicksand, right. The faster you try to get out, the deeper you're going to get into it, man.
Yep.
Okay? Continue, says, take the millstones and grind meal, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, Yea, thy shame shall be seen. Yes. And guess what? These other nations are seeing your nakedness, man, because of the evil that you've been put upon this face of the earth, man. Not only did you persecute the men of the Lord, not only did you hurt the children of Israel with no mercy, but you also pushed it upon these other nations, man, because of the stupidity, your ignorance, and your pride. Okay? Continue, it says what? I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, and that's Yahweh Shai when he comes back down, man. And you guys know that, and that's why Trump is the first guy who said who has to have this space force, man. Okay, because there ain't no other countries out there in space that you're gonna fight against. And you idiots out there who think that it's gonna be aliens. There ain't no aliens. They know that Yahweh Shai is coming down, and they know this precept that says, "I shall meet thee. I shall not meet thee as a man, man." Okay, 2,000 years ago in the Roman Empire, he came down as a man. Okay, and they put him to death. And that same man rose up 3 days later and went back to the heavens, man. So if you know in your conscience that, yo, if I kill somebody and he woke up again 3 days later and he didn't do nothing to me and he left and promised that he's going to come back and this time he's not going to meet me as a man, you're going to be shook too. Okay, so it's understandable why Esau is busy getting ready to put a place for there. But at the end of the day, we already the he's going to lose. Okay, continue. It says what? As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is his name. And it says the Holy One of Israel, not the Holy One of the world. Okay, the Holy One of Israel, man. And the Israel starts what? The 144,000, the men of the Lord, the elect, man. Okay. Verse 5, it says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans. Okay, and the modern day Chaldeans is represented by these Rothschilds, man. Okay, it says, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Okay, yes, because why? America is looked at as what? The top dog of the earth. Okay, you go back into ancient times, even previous years, but what, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Okay, and that's what Trump is talking about, man. They won't go back into the times of boom. Okay, because America is looked at as what? The Lady of Kingdoms. All these different countries, everybody comes here to do what? To trade. Okay, everybody comes here to make their riches. Everybody wants to be affiliated with America. Hence, we have the what? The petrodollar, man. Okay, the world currency, which is predominantly the dollar. Okay, continue, says verse 6. I was wroth with my people. Okay, why? Because we went off as a nation. Okay, when you go back into the book of Deuteronomy, it tells you all about the things that the Lord told us not to do, and our people ended up doing. So now we're underneath these curses. Okay, everything makes sense. The Lord explains why he does what he does, man. Okay, and if you're wise enough, you pay attention and you gain understanding when you come back to the Lord, man. Okay, I have polluted mine inheritance, which is Israel, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. Okay, and given them into thine hand. Okay, so Esau, you don't have no power unless the Lord gives you the power, man. All right, it says what? Thou didst shew them no mercy. Okay, you want to talk about slavery? Okay, even till today, you want to talk about, you really want to get down into the nitty gritty of how Esau really operated against people, man. Yo, is out of control. And even the Lord said, what? You shew them no mercy. Okay, upon the ancient has thou very heavily laid thy yoke. Okay, so you did it to the people of old. You did it to our people now. You still doing it to even the older people of our generations, man. Okay, you look at our elders. Okay, people that even veterans who come back from war. Okay, a lot of shit that Esau has done and literally created a system to oppress our people, man. And you think the Lord is not going to judge you for that? We come out here, we talk about the judgments of your doings, and you talk about prophets of doom need to be stopped. You need to be stopped, and you will get stopped, man.
Right.
Okay. Continue, it says what? And it says thou hast said, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Okay, so Trump talking about what? Planting 1 trillion trees. Okay, you planting 1 trillion trees, you're talking about what? The trees are going to grow and we're going to live prosperity. We're going to live in prosperity, man. That's what the trees represent. Okay, so the trees are going to keep growing and they're going to keep growing and our kingdom is going to keep growing, man. That's what you're talking about. Okay, it says, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Okay, so you even think about the judgment that's coming to you, man. You're just thinking about, oh yeah, we're gonna keep prospering, man. Okay. Continue, says, therefore hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, it says that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am. So the only person who is the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's literally what his name means. I am. Okay. So for you to say I am is blasphemous, man, and you're going to pay for that. Okay. Continuing, and none else beside me. Okay, so these other nations, that's why scriptures say what? He was more stout than his fellows.
God.
Okay? So you have that pride, that prideful look, and that's what makes you feel like you can go to a country like Iraq and take over, and they could tell you to get out, and you don't want to get out, man, because you feel like you own the earth, man. Okay, continue, says what? I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. And you're gonna know that very soon, man. You're gonna know that very soon because no other country has ever challenged your authority. Ever since the Roman Empire collapsed and America became what it is today, no other country has ever stepped up to America and won. But very soon that's going to change, man. The Most High is going to change the course of history. Okay, that's why me personally, I call Yahushua what? The Deus Ex Machina, man. Okay, that machine that comes in and destroys the course of nature, the course of history, man. He's going to change everything, man. All right. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children, the widowhood, thou shalt come upon. It says, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. Okay, so you're gonna see your kingdom get destroyed. First, your economy is gonna go down. First, your people go, and then second, your people gonna get hit with famines, with diseases, with plagues, and all these different things. And then the Most High is gonna rain missiles down on your dumbasses, man. That's what you're gonna get for your pride, man. Okay.
Right.
Continue, says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Okay, trying to create something called the RFID chip. That's a wicked thing. Okay, trying to chip people so they can worship you at the end of the day. That's a wicked thing, man. Okay, pushing all these philosophies out there, homosexuality, adultery, all these different wicked things, man. Everything that's unrighteous, you want to push, man. These are all things that are what? You're trusting in your wickedness, man. Okay, thou hast said, none seeth me. Okay, so you believe that the Lord is not even there. And hence we have Aaron Rodgers coming out here talking shit, which we could get into after this. Okay, it says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And that's a prime example. Aaron Rodgers talking about what kind of God who's going to be loving and caring and omnipotent and all these things can destroy a creation, a very beautiful creation. What is so beautiful about America, man? Ain't nothing beautiful about America. Okay, if you really want to look at it, ain't nothing beautiful about this place. All right, it's all an illusion, man. And the Lord is going to break that illusion very soon, man. All right.
You run that last verse back again.
Come on, verse 10, Isaiah chapter 47, verse 10, it says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me.
It said, thy wisdom and knowledge hath perverted thee, because Scripture tells you that it says, what thou art wiser than Daniel. You know? And Esau, the Lord blessed Esau with being able to what they say that technology has advanced over the last 100 years, as much as it's been like over the course of history. And Esau's been like the main. Well, really, he hasn't even been the main one because he stole a lot of these inventions from Jake. But Esau has his empire built off of his technology. You know, he comes out with these robots. All right, he comes out with these different devices that you can use to have a mechanical arm, or you could replace your liver or shit like that. So Esau thinks that he is God. You know, he thinks that he can give life, even though he can't. You know, and like Elder Tahar was saying, that one thing Esau can't do, Esau can't bring people back from the dead, man. You read into the scriptures, the men of Yahushua and the men of the Lord had that power to do so. You know, Esau tries to go out, he clones animals, tries to splice genes, put a monkey's head on a pig's face, shit like that. But his wisdom and his knowledge has perverted him, meaning he's already been perverted, but his prideness of his rulership has made him think that he is the only one. He is God. Basically, he says, "I am, and no one else beside me." And that's why the Lord, just like how the Lord set up Pharaoh, what the scripture tells about how the Lord told Pharaoh that, "For this cause have I raised thee up." See, Pharaoh, he thought, he was raised up because he was some big bad dude and he had the greatest of everything and he deserved to be in that spot. And Esau is just like that. Esau thinks that he deserves to be in the spot that he's in right now. And that's where his perversion, that's where his pride has deceived him, because the Lord only put you in this spot just to show you, just to show his power in you. All right, just to show you how what the Lord can do. That's why he's giving you the greatest military that's ever been on the earth. That's why he's giving you, the ability to split an atom and create a nuclear bomb, to do all these things. Have your F-35, B-12s, your submarines, your hypersonic jets and missiles,
Yep.
all these things, or your laser, your drones, your microwavable heat rays, okay, your bullets that can heat-seeking bullets, all these things that Esau takes pride in. The Lord gave you all that just so when his son comes back with his army, with the armies of heaven, that when he obliterates you and destroys you, you're going to be like, everybody's going to see like you're nothing.
Yep.
The power that the Lord has, the power that that Yahweh Shai comes with, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, that is unmatchable. And everything that you done created, every idea that you came up with, every military, a breakthrough that you think you had, or technological breakthrough that you think you had, is all going to be shown to be nothing in an instant. The Lord said the only thing that's going to be left is just the smell of dust and smoke, man.
Yep.
After the Lord gets through with you and everything that you built, man.
Yep. Hey, there's a quote when you talk about technology. I just thought about it. There's a quote by this guy Aldous Huxley, and it says, "Technological process has merely provided us with more efficient means for going backwards." So Esau, you have all these technological so-called advances, but really you're going backwards, man. You got all these different things. You got a chip, you got a 5G internet, you got all these different things. How to inseminate a woman with sperm so she could have incubated, all these different dumb shit that you created, but yet you're going back. How are you going back? Because your moralities are going back, man. You're changing the natural order of life. Okay, and that's going backwards, man. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to let me just finish this real quick and then I'm gonna pass it back. Isaiah 47 verse 11, it says, "Therefore shall evil come upon thee." Okay, going back into what? Doom. Okay, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth. For example, coronavirus. Okay, coronavirus just popped up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it's like the scientists are like, yo, we have no real understanding of what this is all about. The Chinese people are not giving us enough data of what this is all about. Well, guess what? It's just the tip of the iceberg. Get ready for more, okay? Because this is the times that we're in. It's called the time of pestilence, and it's prophecy, man. Okay, continue. It says what? It says, "And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know." So Trump, you coming around saying we must stop the prophets of doom? How the fuck you gonna do that? Huh? The Lord has ordained it that it's gonna happen. How you gonna stop it? You can't stop this thing, man. Okay, because it's not of us, it's not of men. Okay, because let me tell you something, if words of men throughout the whole entire world is causing you not to sleep like this, then imagine when the Lord put the Spirit on us to actually start doing things with actions, man. What's going to happen then? Huh? Continue, it says what? Verse 12, "Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, where thou hast" what? It says, "wherein thou hast labored from thy youth." Okay, so Esau, you've been a devil from the beginning. Okay, you've been a prime example would be this nigga, Aleister Crowley, man. Okay, he knew as a child, he called himself the Beast. Okay, Mark of the Beast, all this 666, get into all this devil worship and shit like that, and he started from his youth.
Hey, even going into that, that labor from our youth, even talking about the inception of America. America was founded by so-called Freemasons, man. The presidents of this of America, or the founding forefathers, were all fucking Freemasons. They were basically devil worshippers.
Yep.
So they've been laboring. America was built off of sorcery. It was built off of witchcraft. It was built off of enchantments. So, and that's why they still got the same order, what they call it, the inauguration.
Yep.
Inauguration means what? To summons up. Summoning up demons, man. And each president puts a old president's picture in their Oval Office. So right now, Trump has the Andrew Jackson in his office. So basically, they try to put on that spirit, and even going back further than that, America has emulated the ways of what? Rome. So they've been laboring in enchantments from their youth, man. Meaning the inception of America. America was built off of witchcraft and wickedness, man. So the Lord is telling Esau, well, you trusted in that all that time, so now you got to stand in that enchantments. You got to deal with that. That's what you better, when the time of hell comes, you better stand. Don't try to backtrack now. You don't use that your whole time. So when Yahweh Shai comes, let's see if that shit is really going to help you in that day.
Yep. Hey, even when you look at their buildings, their names, all these different things, they're basically their foundation, the founding fathers, so-called founding fathers, all these different things that Esau has had to put America on the pedestal that it is today is all on devil worship, man. It's all Satanism. It's all on everything that's adverse to the Heavenly Father. Okay? Continue, says, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou, it says, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let not, it says, let now the astrologers and it says the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Okay. you want to touch on that?
Hey, that's the Lord talking. They're talking that flash shit right there, man. He's like, oh no, go get your high priest, man. Go get your monthly procrastinators. All right, your astrologers. Let's see if they can be able to save you from these times. Because Esau thinks that he's the one that controls the chessboard. You know, he thinks that he's the one that's in control of the movements that is happening. But no, man, as a brother just posted, which goes right into it, the kingdom within, Proverbs 21 verse 1, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of the water, he turneth whithersoever he will. So Esau thinking that he's in control of the moves that he's making. You're being controlled, man. Your master that you're getting your words from, Satan, is actually getting his words from Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was given all judgment by his father Yahweh. So anything that you do, you're being. See, hey, I remember I did a video a while ago. I said Esau has deceived the world. How did I say? I said Esau has deceived the world. The Lord has deceived Esau, and we're the only ones that see the whole thing. We're the only ones that see the whole picture. Even though Esau is deceiving the majority of the world, well, guess what? Esau, you're being deceived by the Lord, man. And we're the only ones that have the vision that sees and that see the whole thing. The deceive and the deceiver are his, man. So
you already said I was gonna bring it up, but you already said
you can get it anyway. Let the scripture speak it, man. That's where Esau he's been using his witchcraft and his sorceries to deceive the people. But Esau hasn't. It's like somebody that's a drug, somebody that's a drug seller or a drug dealer, so to speak. You're giving anybody, you're selling people coke and crack and heroin, and you getting them high. But then guess what? By you getting them high, but you're also getting high yourself, man. So you're also hallucinating yourself from the hallucination that you're giving everybody else. You thinking that you deceived everybody else, and that makes you a god. Where in that same thing, you're being deceived by thinking that you're a god, man. You got it.
God, the same brother posted a nice little precept in there, Job 5:12. Okay, it says what? He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Yes, and Esau, even if you look on the dollar bill, they talk about what? Their damn, I forget.
Novus Seclorum.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I have that. I believe I have it here.
What is it? Novus
Order Seclorum, which is which means that I have it here. I want to get it verbatim so these devils know that we know what
new order of worlds or something like that.
The new order of the ages, I believe.
Ages.
Yeah, but it's fine. We already got it. But basically, let's get what you already said. This is a book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay, so think about that for a second. Esau really thinks that he got this world deceived. He thinks that he got this all figured out. Okay, he thinks he got this all figured out. He got the multiple studies. Okay, he got the scientific research to back up everything he's saying. He's talking about the archaeological evidences to back up what he's saying. Everything else, but you still don't know one thing though: the return of Yahweh Shai. You don't know that. You don't know that, and that's why the Lord said, "What? The deceived and the deceiver are his." So you thinking that you got it all figured out? We about to have a world war, a new world order, all these different things. Guess what? It ain't gonna work, man. It ain't gonna work. And that's the funny thing, because let's finish this real quick. It goes into that, says what? And monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So when the Lord starts bringing the judgment, the heavy judgments left and right, up, down, in and out, left, right, south, all that stuff, all directions, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Guess what, Esau? You're boxing yourself in. Your hands are too short to box with God, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what we've been trying to tell you, man. That's why it says what? We are the prophets of doom, because you really have no other direction to go but down. You see, there is no other way to go but down. The one place you don't want to go is where you're headed towards, man. And
God.
that's down. Okay. Continue, verse 14. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The
Mm.
fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Woo!
There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. You see, let's just think about that for a second. Let me read that again real quick, bro. This is it says what? Isaiah 47, verse 14. This is for you, Esau. Trump, I hope you're watching this. This is for you. Okay, it says what? Behold, they shall be as stubble. We already know what stubble is. Okay, when you beat something into stubble, it ain't coming back up. Okay, it says what? The fire shall burn them. What fire is that talking about? That's talking about these nuclear missiles, man. When they start hitting this place left and right, and America's gonna get hit with missiles. People who don't believe it, that's fine. You don't have to believe it. You're gonna live it. That's gonna be a reality. Okay.
Hey, Howard Shy's coming with fire as well too. So that's that supernatural fire, man.
Yep. Yep. Hey, and listen, man. I had a dream the other day. Very soon, man. The scriptures talk about what signs in the sky, signs in the heavens. Very soon, you're gonna literally see fire in the sky. Just people gonna be bugged the hell out. Man. That's all part of it, man. And that's all what the angels doing their training, baby. Because we about to really pop into some real fucking war, man.
The angels are ministers of fire, man.
Ministers of fire, man. So we don't see you people, man. You people ain't got, man. You get ready, man. It says what? They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame.
Mm.
You're not gonna deliver yourself from the Lord's anger. You're crazy. It's over for you, man. It says what? They shall not be. It says there shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. You know what I'm saying? Oh my goodness. It says what? Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth. They shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. So yes, the deals that you made with the Russians, the Chinese people, the Arabians, Saudi Arabia, Africa, all these different countries that you've labored with, okay, meaning you've done trade with and all these things. These countries, the Arabians who came here and pitched tent here, okay, meaning what? They came here and set up businesses, okay. All got, guess what? They're gonna all what? They shall wander everyone to his quarter. Everybody gonna go back to their land, okay? And none shall save thee. Everybody gonna take their from America, like, yo, I want nothing to do with this. I don't know none of this. As a matter of fact, we're gonna help blow you motherfuckers up because of you, we all got into this shit. Okay.
Yeah, precept for those merchants that shall not save thee. Revelation 18, verse 8. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine. That's that doom. And she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornications and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Verse 10, standing afar off for the fear of her torment. So ain't nobody gonna come over here and try to put the fire out on America, man. Nobody's gonna say, oh, send donations or we have to gather together to help America, be restored or saved from the destruction that is happening to us, from the fire that is going on. Nah, they're going to be standing afar off because they're not going to want these nations that don't get hit, these nations that don't get destroyed. They're not going to partake in the torment that is happening here in Babylon the Great. So it says standing afar off. So they're not even going to come near that shit. They said, for the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. What is that? That doom. In 1 hour is that doom come, man. Doomsday. You see?
That's it. Hey, nice. Not beautiful. Oh, man. Real quick, just to add on to that. Isaiah 34, verse 2. It says, for the indignation of the Lord Yahweh is upon all nations. So not just talking about Esau. Okay, because Trump did say they're in my nation, they're in my place, they're also in your place. So all these other nations, they're all going to take part in this. Every nation, because you've been prophesied onto. Okay, like we got in Jeremiah 1:5. Okay, the Lord sent us to these other nations, what, as prophets. Okay, prophesy what their downfall. All right, it says what? All nations and his fury, meaning anger. He's furious. Okay, upon all their armies. Okay, because hey, look, you got all these different countries practicing their naval drills. They got their millions of army generals and all these different things, man. That's all nothing. That's all nothing. It says what? He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. Okay, what is slaughter? Death. Okay, you ever seen a sheep get slaughtered, man, or a cow get slaughtered? It's helpless. It looks helpless and hopeless. That's what's going to be happening to you people very soon, man. Okay, let's get another precept to back that up. And this is for you, Esau. There's a book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 2. Okay, as a matter of fact, I'm starting at 1. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, so Ezekiel, we represent Ezekiel, man. Spiritually, we are the men who have the same task as Ezekiel, which Ezekiel was a prophet, and those same men are back here again. So Ezekiel was looked at as a man of a prophet of doom, okay, and we are the prophets of doom, okay. It says, son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Okay, Mount Seir is what? Esau, all right, and say unto it, thus saith the Lord Yahweh thy power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. So that's the Lord speaking now. All right. I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I'll make thee most, not a little bit, most desolate. Okay. I will lay thy cities waste. Okay. So we're talking about diseases, pestilence, famine. Okay. Civil wars, civil unrest, all these different things. And then ultimately missiles, man. All right. It says what? And it says, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Okay, so now you're gonna finally realize that, oh, now this is not of any man, but this is of the Most High Himself. And you finally go and recollect that memory of, man, that there's a reason why they used to call him the Al-Shadia, you know, the powerful demon-like power, man. That's him. You're gonna come back into your remembrance. Okay, all the blasphemous talk of I am and there's none beside me. Well, guess what? It's the Most High who said that, not you. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me get that real quick and get back to it. It's in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, verse 2. There is none holy as the Lord Yahweh, for there is none beside him, neither is there any rock like our power. So that's the Most High, that's him, that's his title, man. He is, and there's none beside him. But you still got Esau here saying, I am, and there's none beside me. That's prideful, man, and the Most High going to destroy your pride. Finishing off with this, verse 4, Ezekiel 35, verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity. And that's now. Going back to the time of the Roman Empire till now, man, because when you go back into history, the things that the Romans did to the Israelites, man, was out of control. Okay, and hence we had all those revolts and even Nero, the time of Nero, all these different things, man. Okay, and now you come back to now, look what our people are facing. Okay, just not just the system alone, but what happens within the system. Okay, the laws and the litigations to keep our people oppressed and keep killing our spirits. That's what you guys have been doing, man. And our calamity. Okay, guess what? In the time that their iniquity had an end. Okay, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh thy power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Okay, sith thou, it says, sith thou has not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Okay, so you go around all these different wars, all these different things that you did, even from the time of Esau, the time of Cain, all these different things that Esau has done. The Lord said, "What? He's going to bunch it all together, and he's going to come right back at you, man. It's called revenge."
You have to eat all that shit that you thought you got away with.
That's it.
That he required with the things of old, man. So you have to, and that's why his scripture says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquities of his father. Now is the time of you getting your judgment, man. Now is the time of you having to pay the bill. You done sat at that table and just kept eating. You thought it was a all-day buffet, and you think you was gonna get the bill. Well, guess what? That bill's coming, man. And it ain't no going, ain't no dining ditch. You have to pay that bill, man. And that's what that doomsday, that doom is all about. The time of paying the bill. So let's play this clip right here.
100 seconds to midnight.
The bear.
It is 100 seconds to midnight.
The bearers of unbearable news. Time is almost up until the world is doomed.
You hear that? Time is almost up until the world is doomed. Now, what world are we talking about? Let me get that real quick. It's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 7, verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, and temperance is at hand, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Okay, so the day of doom is the end of this time, the end of this age. And what did she just say? Run that back.
News. Time is almost up until the world is doomed. The hand of this fateful clock has been placed at various positions since its inception more than 70 years ago. But in 2018, it was set at 2 minutes to midnight. The closest since 1953, at the height of the Cold War.
Salakia. I can't see that, right? Run it back.
100 seconds to midnight.
The bearers of unbearable news. Time is almost up until the world is doomed. The hand of this fateful clock has been placed at various positions since its inception more than 70 years ago. But in 2018, it was set at 2 minutes to midnight.
And that also goes to the Lord speeding up the times for the elect's sake. Because when you read that, when you just read seeing that part, it was at 1991. It was at 17 minutes. All right, and between 1991, which is 29 years ago, till now, it's already up to just a minute and 40 seconds, man. So the Lord is speeding up these times. When you look at it, on the grand scheme of that, of course, we're not going according to this clock, but we look at things on the grand scheme of it, or how these prophecies are coming to pass, especially within these last couple of years. Things are happening to where, and we at any minute, any day could be the time of the Jacob's trouble. Any day could be the time of the RFID chip being implemented. World War III breaking out, the collapse, the economic collapse of the global economy. So we see all these things happening because the Lord said that the day of doom is at the end of this time, man. So keep going.
But in 2018, it was set at 2 minutes to midnight. The closest since 1953, at the height of the Cold War. Now the Nobel laureate studded panel has moved it 100 seconds before a climate catastrophe.
Without U.S. leadership and participation, there will be no winners from this climate crisis. We will all become losers.
You see that? We will all become losers. Hey, let me get something real quick, because I was a heathen right there talking. And guess what? All you heathens are going to become losers, man. You're only going to be one winner, and that's going to be who? The Yahweh Shai and the house of David.
That's right.
That's it. You all are going to become losers. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse, start at 16, I believe. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 16. It says, therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity, and they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith Yahweh, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. Okay, so all these nations, they talk shit about us. All right, even these Moab countries, which the Lord is sending a nice little care package to Moab right now, by way of coronavirus. You see, so all these and that thing is spreading all across the world. Okay, so this is the Lord devouring all of the ones who devoured us, and the ultimate devouring is when He gives us the necks of our enemies. All right, this is one more, and I'll go back to the scripture. We'll go back to the video. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 24. It says, O Lord, correct me, but with judgment, not in thy anger, lest thou bring me to nothing. And that's what the Lord is doing to the elect, man. Okay, He's correcting us, but not in His anger. He's chastising us, but in His love, man. Because the Lord said, He chastised whom He loves. But when the Lord corrects or brings these heathens, into a correction, it's going to be by way of sore displeasures, man. Because these heathens are going to get beat into correction with the rod of iron. They're going to be beat into subjection. See, verse 25, it says, pour out thy fury upon the heathen that know thee not, and upon the families that call not on thy name. For they have eaten up Jacob and devoured him and consumed him and have made his habitation desolate. So that was a prayer of Jeremiah, a prophet, man. You know, one of our prophets, okay, the prophets of doom. He was praying to the Lord to do what? Pour out the fury upon the heathens. And that's the same thing that we're doing right now, man. So when we see all these things happening, these coronaviruses, these earthquakes, or you just had an earthquake just hit in Turkey earlier today, all right, 6.7, all right, even 2/3 of our own people who are in the mindset of these heathens, when we see these things, man, we rejoice and give praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because that's the Lord's judgment, man. And that's the Lord remembering and hearing our cries and remembering us, man. Remembering the oath that he gave unto our forefathers. Okay?
Right.
Let me finish this up.
The world's second biggest polluter is being called out. At the World Economic Forum in Switzerland, the U.S. Treasury Secretary told 17-year-old climate activist Greta Thunberg she should go to college and study economics before calling for an end to fossil fuels.
This is not the doom and gloom issue, okay, that is going to impact everybody in the next 10 years.
Here, the stark contrast between planet and profit was on display.
Look at that.
For the first time,
Hey, that's what's going to happen. That's right there. That's an omen right there, man. That's what the Lord's doing. That kind of looks like that picture that we got of the that big sign that we got of the missiles.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, because that's what's going to happen. There's going to be various parts of the earth that's going to be on fire, man. But America, see, they don't got America right here. But which is should be, what is it? It should be over here somewhere.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
But America is going to be the one that's going to be that lake of fire, man. You're going to get other parts of the earth that's going to get hit, but America is going to. You're not going to be able to put the fire out in America, man.
in the history of humankind, there is a limit, a physical limit to our perspectives of development. And nature is striking back.
Australia is also featuring in the global conversation. The UK's Meteorological Office says recent bushfires accounted for 1/5 of an unprecedented global increase in carbon dioxide emissions projected this year. Even if the night is darkest before the dawn, the message is becoming clear. By then, it will be too late. Randolph Nogle, ABC News.
Hey, you had all those fires over there in Australia. See, these are all the judgments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, man. Let me play this part. So this is a video from Aaron Rodgers, which is the quarterback of Green Bay.
Yep.
And he says this about religion, so-called religion.
And I think that makes a lot of people feel better about themselves. Is I got Jesus, and I'm saved, and I'm going to heaven, and there's only 144,000 of us going, even though there's 7 billion people on the planet. I don't know how you can believe in a God who wants to condemn most of the planet, to a fiery hell. Like, what type of loving, sensitive, omnipresent, omnipotent being wants to condemn most of his beautiful creation to a fiery hell at the end of all this?
Well, it's going to be, first of all, let me just get this, because this scripture right here tells you that, and like we said before, man, don't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers have been watching, videos, man, because ain't nobody else talks about the 144,000, and but now people are realizing the truth of the Bible, okay, because the Lord is not coming to save everybody, man. That was some dogma of Christianity, plantation Christianity, that basically has deceived this whole world by way of Esau bringing out that notion.
God.
But this is Second Ezra chapter.
You want to do the screen?
Oh, Salakia. The book of Second Ezra, chapter 8, verse 1. It says, and he answered me in saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. Okay, so it says, and I will tell thee a similitude, Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, and it shall say unto thee, it has given much mold whereof earthly vessels are made, but little dust that gold cometh of. Even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. All right. And the few that's going to be saved is talking about the ones of the elect. All right. The elect of Israel. Now, all nations of people are not going to die, but the world to come is only for the Israelites. Okay, meaning the heaven or the heavenly state. When you go into the word of, because heaven is a condition as well. That condition of happiness, that condition of bliss, that condition of being on top. That world, that age is only for the age of the elect of Israel. Starting with, of course, Yahweh Shai, King David, and then the rest of the house of David. That's the world to come. Is in that world is an everlasting dominion. It was spoken about in Daniel's 7th chapter. Okay, so that world to come is only for a few, because this world right now, you can have quote unquote celebrities of any nation. All right, you can have a famous and rich person of Ham, or famous and rich person of Edom, or famous and rich person of even Israelites. All right, famous and rich person of Ishmael. But in the kingdom of heaven, ain't gonna be no famous and rich people of these other nations, man. It's only gonna be the Israelites that's gonna be on top, and that's what the world to come being for a few means, man. There's not gonna be a nation, different nations of people that are the nobles of Ham are going to be able to come up to the nobles of Israel and sit down and talk and discuss different type of politics. Hell no, man. They gonna reverence us, man. They gonna come and ask of us every way of life, every order of the way that they supposed to live, man. Isaiah the 2nd chapter tells you that they gonna say we should learn of your ways. That's just going to be the order of it, man. And when Aaron Rodgers talks about condemning the majority of this world to a fiery hell, it's not talking about some place where you go, after you die. That's talking about this lake of fire that's going to be here. A lot of people are going to die during the second death, man. The Lord's going to do a heavy depopulation, a heavy depopulation of this earth. Okay, you got 7 billion people here. The Lord might drop it down to like 1 billion or 2 billion. A couple hundred million. Well, not 100 million, but you might drop it down to 2 billion people. So you want to talk about we overpopulation? Well, the Lord got the plans for overpopulation, man. Okay,
that's it. Really, you could drop it down to, like you said, a few million, because if only the elect gonna be saved, you got the 144,000 plus however else, innumerable multitude that John saw. That could be in the thousands. That could be the millions. Who knows? What I'm saying? But if you're not part of that, that means you're not gonna make it. What happens then? Especially if you're here in America, it's clipped. It's over for you. So it's what? Over 370 million people in America right now.
Yeah, so cool, yeah.
Yeah, like it's if you're not part of that number, man, it's clipped for you, bro. It's over, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's worried about, because he's in America too, and he doesn't see himself as 144,000. It's clipped.
Yeah. But I think that's all I had. I don't got nothing else.
I think I'm done too as well.
Okay, so the doomsday clock, that time is ticking. The Lord said that. Let me just get one more. The book of Romans, chapter 13. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. So the clock is ticking on the end of this age, man, and we seeing all these things come to pass. Oh, well, let me just pull out these scriptures. I mean, these quick articles to keep people, brothers and sisters, updated on the news. CDC confirms second U.S. case of coronavirus is monitoring dozens of other possible cases in the U.S. CDC confirms second U.S. case of coronavirus and is monitoring dozens of other possible potential cases. So you have some woman in Chicago. She has who returned from Wuhan. She had the infection. So look, man, hey, that means like damn near almost everybody that's in Wuhan might have gotten affected, man. Because what is the chances of this one woman that went there now she got affected? And that's why they shut down that whole city, man, which had 11 million people. And then not only that city shut down, but now I think it's about 6 or 7 different cities that are shut down. over 63 million people that are basically being quarantined off in China, man.
God.
So you got that. You had another article came out, and like how we saying before, hey, the Lord has this thing spreading quickly too, and it's the unknown virus, you know. So and you have people are dying from this thing. All right, it's not just like some regular common cold. People are dying from this.
Mm-hmm.
It says first 2 coronavirus cases in Europe detected in France. Second case of coronavirus confirmed in U.S. So now it's been confirmed in the U.S. It's been confirmed in Europe. It's been confirmed in Japan, Taiwan, Singapore, China,
France.
Vietnam, France.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing is everywhere, man.
God.
All right, this pestilence is everywhere. Which Yahweh Shai said, what? That there's going to be earthquakes and pestilence in diverse places. You see? So these are all signs of the times of. Yeah, damn, I knew I didn't have that up there. My bad. These are all signs right here. These are all signs. What the fuck? All signs of signs of the end times, man. Okay, this is the second article I just read. I can get back to the first article. And like I said, you know, brothers can just go on YouTube. I mean, Google and just type in coronavirus. You'll see a whole bunch of different articles. CDC confirms second U.S. case of coronavirus and is monitoring dozens of other potential cases. And it said that it's about 60 right here. They are currently monitoring 63 patients under investigation in the U.S. So that's 63 people that they're suspecting to have this virus just in the U.S. alone, man. All right, 60. You got millions of people. All right, right. 63 cases being monitored in the U.S. that stretch across 22 states, including the first patients in Washington State and a new case in Illinois. So they're not even coming out and saying, well, I didn't read this article, but I don't know if they said exactly which states they're monitoring. But here it is. You got millions of people, you know, over there in China that are being quarantined, man. And this, once again, all goes into the prophecies. So, you know, the day of doom is at hand, man. So, you know, that, yeah, you go ahead, brother.
Bacor just said in the chat, there's a new update, an additional 15 deaths. So this thing is taking off, man. It's beautiful, you know.
Yeah.
There's people, it's ravishing, man. And it's all prophecy, man. And it's gonna get worse, like we said. It's gonna get worse, man. So that's all part of the prophecy, the prophets of doom, talking about the prophecies and the doom that's headed to this place, man.
Hey, and that's the spirit, the kingdom of Israel. The more we declare the prophecies, the more they manifest. That's right, because hey, the Lord won't bring the prophecies to pass until He sends His men out to prophesy, and that's why you're seeing all these things happen. Because the men of the Lord, you know, starting with our elders and their elders, we have been prophesying about these things happening, you know, for decades. So the Lord's like, all right, well, now I already spoke enough. Actually, just a lot here. Let me get this. The Lord said, I already sent the prophets out. So now it's just the time for the action. You know, there's no more need for me to keep giving a warning. We've been giving a warning for a long time.
Yep.
This is second Ezra chapter 15, verse start at 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Okay, so the wickedness has exceeded the whole earth, man. So what's next to happen? The Lord bringing the plagues. Now we got the famine, the wars, the rumors of wars. All right. So what we got? What's the next thing that has to happen? So like not the famine. We have the pestilence and the wars and rumors of wars. But now we also need the famine that's going to hit, man. Because when that famine hits, that's going to, it tells you in Limitations, it's better to die by the sword than to die by the famine. And when that famine hits, and that's one thing that these people in America has no type of patience of, man. These people, they overindulge in eating every day, man. Mm-hmm. So when that famine hits people, that's when you're going to start seeing the cannibals, you know, all that shit, man, you know. But yeah, we close it out with that, you know. Anything else you got to say?
That's it.
So, you know, hey, Lord willing, this was edifying unto the elect. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, B'chai Kodash, and Shalom to the house of David, man. Keep watching, all right? Stay faithful, all right? And repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
Right.
Shalom.